Hey there, beautiful people. Tamika Marie here breaking down IR 2025 1 and 17 with clarity and strategy because there's more happening here than just a new account with a political name. The Treasury and IRS have introduced guidance on Trump accounts, a new type of IRA designed specifically for children. On the surface, this looks like a youth wealth initiative, but like any new federal program, it sits at the intersection of tax policy, demographic incentives, and long-term economic planning. Here's the big picture. This is, in part, a population incentive. The one-time $1,000 pilot program contribution applies only to children born between 2025 and 2028. That narrow eligibility window reads less like a universal wealth program and more like a targeted incentive for increasing birth rates during a 4-year period. And that's not unusual historically. Governments under demographic pressure often introduce birth incentives. The U.S. is experiencing declining birth rates. An aging population increased dependency ratios, which eventually strains Social Security, Medicare, and the workforce pipeline. So yes, even though the policy language frames this as a working family's tax cut, there's an underlying economic strategy: stimulate population growth and future labor supply. Is there any sign the child tax credit, CTC, will increase to 18? Right now, not within this notice. Nothing in IR 2025-117 directly signals an expansion of the CTC age range from 17 to 18. But introducing Trump accounts creates the infrastructure for Congress to pair them with: expanded child credits, increased refundable amounts, longer benefit windows, indexed age thresholds. From a policy standpoint, if lawmakers want this program to actually reach scale and drive participation, increasing the CTC or broadening its eligibility could absolutely be the next step. This is especially true because the U.S. already saw how transformative the expanded 2021 CTC was. Economists widely agree that expanded CTCs reduce childhood poverty and stimulate consumer spending. The infrastructure for Trump accounts gives Congress a vehicle to attach future enhancements. So while nothing is stated yet, the door is open. Does this stimulate the economy? Yes, but not today. This is not a short-term economic stimulus. This is a long-term capital formation strategy. Here's why. 1. Contributions must be invested in U.S. equities. The law explicitly funnels contributions into mutual funds or ETFs, tracking the S&P 500 or similar U.S. equity indices. This means more capital flowing into American companies, stabilization of long-term investment markets, increased market participation among future generations. It is essentially a planned, consistent investment pipeline into U.S. markets. 2. Employer contributions create tax incentives to engage. Employers can contribute up to $2,500 per year tax-free. This encourages employer involvement, employee retention, participation in the formal labor market. This is a talent retention tool wrapped in an IRA. 3. This grows future households with assets. A child with an 18-year S&P 500-based account will likely enter adulthood with meaningful wealth momentum, strong early assets, increase home ownership rates, encourage entrepreneurship, reduce future reliance on government programs, increase lifetime consumer spending. Long-term wealth creation does strengthen the national economy, but it's a generational outcome, not an immediate one. Will this close the racial wealth gap? Not without additional reforms, because existing children are excluded from the pilot. Black and brown communities historically face barriers to participation in investment-based programs. Wealth-driven programs disproportionately benefit families who already have discretionary income to contribute. However, if community leaders, tax professionals like us, nonprofits, and employers intentionally mobilize this tool, it can be part of a broader wealth-building strategy for our people. Bottom line, Trump accounts are a politically branded IRA for minors, a potential birth rate incentive, a long-term economic capital strategy, a tool that may interact with future CTC or family credit expansions. This isn't a short-term fix for working families, but it can be strategically leveraged to build generational assets if we know how to navigate it. And that's why we talk about it here, because our community deserves more than headlines. We deserve context, strategy, and clarity. I hope this update helps y'all stay compliant, continue to stand on business, and grow with divine alignment. Till next time, keep taking care of your clients and good care of yourself.